Hello. Good afternoon. It's time to be well, I guess. I don't know. Um, I'm flying solo again. It looks like beyond the chat, and currently there's nobody in the chat. So I will be brief again this week because I don't see any reason to not be. Um, so how? Oh shit! You're here.
Yep. There's her.
I go.
Ben says hi.
Hi.
I didn't know if you were going to make it today.
Oh yeah, no, I'm sorry. My internet was being really
Mine
silly.
was too.
I was wondering. In fact, to the point where I was like, "Is there an outage going on?" But apparently not. But yeah, no, it kept like going in and out, in and out, in and out on like my computer and the TV upstairs, which Maeve was watching. But then like Killian was on my Xbox, and that was fine. But
Weird.
yeah, I don't know. It was weird. It was
Well,
really weird.
how are you? I know I just talked to you like I talk to you all the time.
Yeah.
I talk to you all the time. God.
I don't know, man. I'm all right. Yeah, I don't know. Like, got a lot of like positivity, like kind of building in my favor, which is really nice. I'm trying to hold on to it. Although like it's really hard for me to like hold on to like that kind of stuff. Did I grab your cup?
I didn't have a cup yet.
Because I just filled this up. So
Okay,
I don't know.
this was your other one.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Did I grab your cup of coffee or did
Oh, it happens all the time.
Yeah.
Maeve, I don't know where your headphones are because I don't wear your headphones. There's that.
Come on, Dad.
Yeah. But yeah, no, because like yeah, it's hard because like for all the like the cool things or those little like minor successes, they're not minor. I guess like I'm doing it right now. I'm being negative to myself and I don't need to be.
Don't sell yourself short.
But yeah, for like all the successes I'm like achieving right now, and for all the things I'm getting praised for, I'm having just as much like inner self-talk that's all like, you're not going to be able to do this, you should just stop right now, you're going to like fail this. And yeah, so it's hard.
That's really hard.
Yeah. And then at the same time, like I'm in this weird gray space with both of my parents right now. And I've tried to reach out to them, they're not responding. And strangely, my in-laws are giving me, in just this week, more kind of like legitimate like shows of like love and affection than my parents have like in a long time. Like it's kind of messing with me because like I'm feeling like a ton of love and support from a lot of awesome places that make me feel super duper great, but then places where I want that to be coming from, like naturally, just they're not showing up. But then again, that's kind of par for the course for them. So it's just I'm having like late stage like, oh shit, like I don't need my family, I can make my own kind of thing. So yeah. So yeah, good, and it's
that's a hard feeling, man. I mean, in your feel it, be in that feeling. I mean,
for sure.
You have to go through it and like figure out like where you're at in it. It's hard.
Yeah, and like it's funny because like in therapy, I'm always talking like I come to a lot like this like the conclusion like it's a very toxic relationship between me and my parents, and it doesn't do a lot for my mental health or my overall wellness. But then like things will happen where it's like, oh shit, like so the distance I want to create, all of a sudden I feel very compelled to not have that distance there. Like my dad had a big health scare. We all thought he was like gonna be, it sounded like he's gonna have cancer, like really bad. Instead, he's immunocompromised, and that's horrible and presents so many challenges on its own. But like that kind of brought me back into the fold again. And then I don't care. I'll spill the beans. My dad like has been cheating on my mom forever, and that just came to light for me. And so that I kind of that closed the distance again where I wanted to create some, and because I wanted to be there for my mom. And I've been trying to show up for both of them now because, you know, they're doing the classic thing of like, well, let's just sweep all this stuff under the rug and just go forward, which their generation just loves to do with trauma. And so
Yeah.
it's really it's tough holding all this stuff because my dad doesn't know what I know. My mom doesn't know that like the night like one night we were having a big engagement party for Tony and I, and my dad wanted to have a big cool macho father-son moment, sharing cigars and having a beer together, kind of separate from the rest of the gathering. And I don't know why he decided to tell his only son this, but he was like, you know, I never loved your mother. It was just like, oh, wonderful, Father. Thank you so much for putting that burden on me. So that's
What?
yeah. So that's a piece of knowledge I have in my head. It's like,
Why would someone ever say that?
I don't know. And he's a therapist, and I've brought this up to other therapists, and they're like, he did what? Like everyone has that reaction, and they're just like, and he's a therapist, and I'm like, yeah, It's just like, okay. He's also a therapist that believes he doesn't need therapy, so that should, but everyone else around him does, and yeah,
Job security, baby.
Yeah, So I don't know. It's just tough because, like, I got all that fun.
I'm not the one who is wrong. The children are the one who are wrong.
That's right, and I've got all this fun Catholic guilt because I was raised in that for a good couple of years until I was like, this is bullshit. So yeah, and then I don't know. It's just hard. And then like my dad, like his dad was murdered like when he was 47, and my dad like heard the gunshots and everything like that from where he was living. So I've had that pressure on me because he's always like, I never had a good relationship with my father. So it's really important that you and I. But then this is the guy who's always like, oh, you like Star Wars? Well, that's bullshit. Oh, you like Lord of the Rings? That's fucking stupid. And it's like, hey, thanks, Daddy-o. So yeah. So if you're ever wondering, Colin, why are you lacking any like confidence? There's the key. Right.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what to tell you, dude.
Yeah, no, it's
I
stuff.
I always say very simply, I did not have the most idyllic upbringing.
Yeah.
My dad would always say, I don't spank my boys, but I will beat the shit out of them, and he did. Like I cannot tell you the ass beatings I went through as a kid.
Yeah.
Like getting my head bounced off a steering wheel multiple times, or getting thrown through drywall. But my dad was also awesome. He was just mentally ill. He was badly mentally ill, and he didn't want to address it, and it fucks stuff up.
Yeah,
but he also he tried somewhat.
Yeah,
my mom is fucking super smart, but I think if my mom got tested, she would probably be autistic. And I don't mean she's just very distant emotionally. She just has always has been. She's terrifyingly smart and driven.
Yeah.
And when they got divorced, it broke everything. I mean, just broke everything. And I didn't talk to her for like 10 years.
Oh no.
Until after he died. And then I was like, okay, now that I'm not the one child holding up like his end of the bargain, we can be family again. He's dead, so I guess this is okay.
Yeah.
And that kind of sucks, but I mean, like, she got remarried like last year or the year before, and I was like, do you want me to come down for it? And it was during COVID, like serious COVID, and she was like, no. Like, it would kill me if you came down and then you ended up fucking sick. But we're also much like my siblings. We're like, I would equate it to always the way that cats look at dogs. Like, yep, we both have fur. We both eat out of a bowl. It's pretty cool, huh? Like, I loved them. If they needed something, I would give it to them. But like, I am more family with my found family than I am with anybody who I share blood with.
Yeah,
Because
that's
everyone who was like that I did, they're all dead now. You know, and I don't mean that in like they just all died. You know, they got old and died, or
yeah.
you know, that's life. So
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, I'm just, I don't know, like I'm kind of in that camp a little bit, but not just because everyone's dying, although that's starting to happen, but like just like crazy toxic family. Crazy toxic family on my dad's side. Just like,
but think about this. You notice it now.
yeah.
So now you have the opportunity, because you see it, to like go, okay, well, I'm not ever gonna fucking be that way.
Yeah.
And B, I don't have to put up with this shit.
Yeah, that's the thing that I am struggling with. But like, I'll tell you, it was so what a wonderful revelation and like lifting of so much like what like son kind of duty feelings towards my dad when all this stuff broke with him, when it was just like, oh, he's a piece of shit. And I don't have to be that, and I'm never gonna be that, because those are lines I'm never gonna cross. So I already know, like, this guy I always struggled like holding up. Like, I always held him in such high regard. Like, oh my god, what a cool dude. I would excuse so much behavior and so much hurt and neglect and stuff just because, oh wow, Gary. But it's just like, oh no, he's not the man I thought he was at all. And to know that I'm better than him is it's truly wonderful. But yeah, I'm still struggling with that, like creating that final, like, okay, these are the rules that I'm going to abide by. You can follow these rules. You can come if you want me to be a part of your life, but if not, I don't need this. Like, yeah, I need to put that foot down on them.
So one thing, yeah. One thing I can say about that, I can give an example. When we went to my brother's wedding, I had not seen my mother's father in probably like 15 years.
Mm-hmm.
And the first words out of his mouth was, "You put on weight, you got fat." And I looked at him and I said, "Bud, I haven't seen you in like 10 years. I can definitely wait another 10.
Yeah.
And I walked away, and we didn't see each other for about another 10 years. My mother's father, he grew up hard, and he grew up, in rough times, in rough places, doing rough shit.
Mm-hmm.
But it's kind of like, as I kind of just told my mom, I was like, it's no fucking excuse.
Yeah.
Don't be an asshole.
Yeah. No.
And I stopped feeling the need to be okay with him being an asshole. And he had gotten away with being an asshole for a long time because he was rich as fuck.
Yeah.
I mean, he was a self-made man, and he let everybody know it. They play cards for deeds of houses and shit like that. And I'm like, I didn't realize that when I was a kid. I just thought he was a curmudgeonly, tightwad prick. So my dad was like, no. He and your mom's brothers, they got money. And I was like, really? He's like, yeah, real estate. They all, they spent their money real wisely. They invested it in real estate. I didn't realize until I got older that my grandfather owned both the houses I grew up in the town I grew up in. My parents paid him mortgage every month.
Oh, wow.
And my dad said one time about it when I got older and realized it, and I said something about it to him. He goes, "Yep, and never forget. When my mother and I ask for rent that you live here, there's a reason for it. You're over the age of 18. But also one of the reasons why is your grandfather owns this house and rent's due. And there is no break from that." And I always thought that was very interesting.
Yeah.
So it's like I didn't want anything to do with them because I don't want anything to do with that shit. I think
Yeah. My
so I just said no more. I'm not. I'd rather just not hurt your feelings and just not be a fucking party to anything you have to do.
Yeah. That's
and that's why I didn't get anything in the will.
Yeah, that's kind of, it's the funny thing is, it's like the flip side with like my situation. Like My mom's side, they are really nice, awesome, wonderful people, farmers. And my grandfather was a farmer, and like I didn't realize this until like kind of close to the end of his life, that he had made millions off of really wise land purchases.
Yeah.
And I put on no airs about anything. Like he was just a simple dude, and
Yeah, that was my mom's dad. He,
Nicest
you
guy.
well, he was nice. He was not a nice guy. He was a prick, but as it had been pointed out to me,
Yeah.
he was raised that way.
Yeah.
And
then like the other side, my dad's side, is just like the only way they know how to like talk to each other is to like tear each other apart, but you're also supposed to take it and like with a smile and not let it. And it's just like
so that sounds very much like my grandfather. And the thing is my sister and my brother would give that shit back 100-fold. They would be like,
oh yeah,
oh, you want to talk some shit today, huh?
Yeah.
All right, old man, let's talk some shit. And he loved them for it.
The problem for me though is like I learned how to do that, and then that's how I talked to everyone else in my life, and everyone's like, Colin, you're an asshole. It's like,
yeah,
this is how I tell you I love you.
Yeah, that my problem was I got that confused with the way I interacted with my dad's dad, which was, his thing was like be respectful and you get respect. He just, that's just how it was, and I liked and admired and respected him, so I didn't act that way.
Yeah,
because I thought it would make me look bad to him.
Yeah, it does to most people. Like, yeah, and then you go out there and learn like, oh yeah, no, this is not the way to act at all or behave. It's not healthy at all.
But you figure that shit out, and then you find your way in the world from it, and you grow from it, and you realize you're like, oh, some people who I may have been programmed to think highly of don't deserve that admiration.
Oh yeah.
And I don't have to give it to them, and I don't have to follow their rules. Like, that's the thing. It's like I went to one Christmas there, like maybe the last time I saw him for the very long period of time, where he started off with his bullshit, and I just turned around and I said, it's Christmas, fuck you, I'm out. And I walked away, and I walked home. And my mom was so fucking angry at me. I don't blame her.
Yeah.
That's her dad.
Yeah.
But at the same time, my dad, when she wasn't around, my dad like said, good for you. And I was like, why don't you do that? He gives you as much shit as anybody else. And my dad's thing was like, harder to do when he owns where you live.
Oh yeah. Oh God. That's just, I don't know, man. That'd be some pressure I would never want.
Well, also, and my dad adored my mom.
Yeah.
And would do anything for her except for fucking take care of himself. So, that doesn't help either, because my mom does not brook disrespect from anybody. So
can I show you something pretty awesome?
Of course.
Okay, so we got early spring pictures of Killian. Hold on. Oh, it's not.
Oh, damn! Look at that man.
He's kind of got this like, I don't know. Oh, Tony, get that one. Okay,
Which one?
He's kind of got this thing for taking just the silliest like pictures and stuff.
Okay.
Yeah.
Was this year's or last year's?
Was last year's good too?
Yeah.
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 So
This was the.
I love this. Like
that is my in-laws will tell you you got to take like 15 pictures when I'm there. That I'm like Bigfoot.
Oh,
you have to find a way to take a picture where I'm not being fucking goofy.
That's just from the year before.
Hell yeah.
Like, I don't know.
We told him to smile big.
Yeah, smile big, and it was just, yeah, he's hilarious. I don't know.
Awesome. Rumble, young man, rumble.
Blown up big.
Yeah.
Oh. Yeah,
that's
man.
Awesome though, because like he's being himself.
He is
being true to himself.
And the one thing I'll say that I don't know, like has been a beneficial lesson from like all the crap that I've gone through, like growing up and stuff like that, is like, oh, I've learned how not to treat children.
Yeah.
And I don't know, I feel like kids are pretty happy. I'm constantly like, you know, like, how are things with you guys, and checking in on them, and they're always like, yeah, the things are like, are you happy? Do you know you're loved and stuff? Like, yeah, like, I don't know. So and that's a big thing, is like,
That's fucking awesome.
Tony and I are always constantly reinforcing how much we love them and stuff like that. And instead of them, like, you know, instead of being like, I'm, you know, I do say I'm proud of you, but also like I try to really stress, like, and I hope you're feeling proud of yourself, because you should really let them own that. And like, they're just awesome. I love them.
That's
they,
really
they
cool,
seem
man.
more well adjusted than I was at that age. So yeah, I don't know.
But that's awesome. I mean, again, you're giving them a gift. If you don't,
Yeah,
if you
yeah,
don't realize it, you're like, I'm trying to set you up for with a step ahead of where I was.
yeah.
And
I
that's
feel,
man.
yeah, that's this. It's if you might not be the best parent, but you're a parent who at least I think is trying and caring when you're trying to do better than the generation previous. I mean, you're still gonna make some mistakes, but like, yeah, you got to do better, and there's always room to do better. I think, especially when it comes to this whole thing.
Yeah, no, you're exactly right.
Weird. Sorry.
No, you're not being. That's those are all. You know,
and that was my
really,
negative self-talk
really
rearing up, right there.
Well, you're once you recognize something, you're like, then you can do the work on it. It's like, if you don't recognize it, then fucking why would you work on it?
Yeah.
I mean, because it's not a thing then. You know?
Yeah, it's
So
yeah. You're right. You're right.
I mean, they're like, if you go to somebody, a professional, to help you figure it out. I know how to fix a fucking car. So if it's making a weird noise, I gotta ask somebody, because I'm like, I don't know what this means. I know it's not good. Your mental health isn't any different if you don't do something about it. You know, or recognize it. It's gonna cause long-term problems, just like a fucked up car or anything else. I mean, I try to look at those things as simplistically as possible, because I think it helps me kind of wrap my head around them sometimes when I'm being obstinate. So because I'm real good at it. I'm real good at obstinance.
I get into those moments every now and then.
I'm just real good at it.
It's
I'm like,
I used to be pretty good at it too. Ace is at it. Like, yeah, I've had to do like it. I've especially with like the whole like weight loss thing, doing the bariatric surgery and all that stuff, and then like trying to like physically like kind of rebuild my whole thing and get my head all into that. Like, that's really like kicked a fire kind of under me, a drive in me that I haven't had in like, I don't know, maybe ever, to be honest. Like I so easy for me to be like, whatever, I'll ignore this thing, or and now it's like,
well, I mean, again, you have to give yourself credit. I mean, you like said, okay, well, I'm going to transform myself because I need to do this for longevity and health and happiness, and you did it. You're still doing it. You haven't like stepped. You've had no lull. You like are like, this is the work. This is the work. I do the work. I admire that greatly. And I think, I think sometimes when you're doing that type of stuff, it's hard to realize you're doing it.
Yeah.
It's
I
easy
think
to
so.
go, oh, look why this isn't working. And rather than saying like, oh shit, hey, this is actually, I'm doing the work.
Yeah. It's so weird. Like, I mean, like just the other day, like I was like, oh, I did really good on like my test the other day. You know what? This day will be for me. I'll sit back. And I kind of taken another break day, like a day previous. And I was like, I won't do any homework or anything like that. And then I just had this moment where I was like, literally like, you know what? The only person who can do this is me. I got to do it. No one else is. And I gotta prove it. I got to prove myself. And so, yeah, I kicked my butt in gear and ended up studying for like 3 hours or so. And that's not something that comes easy to me, but it felt easy in that moment. And that was kind of remarkable.
And that's awesome, man. See, that's when you're giving yourself some credit for like success, but also saying, okay, I'm not done. This is simply like where I'm starting from. This isn't where I'm ending at.
Yeah.
And like I said, I mean, all of your friends, we all see like, especially like the physical transformation you put through yourself through, and like how you seem like physically happier with that. And now we know too, like what you're working on outside of that,
Yeah.
and it's fucking awesome. I mean, not
Thanks,
to
man.
curse too much, but
No, it's good.
it's really cool. It's it's something that people. It's one of those things. You're like, I'm going to be that, whether you realize it or not. You're like, I'm going to be that person who other people are talking about doing all this stuff, I'm the person who's doing it, and that's super cool.
You're making me cry, buddy.
Well, if it's tears of happiness,
It is.
then
No.
you deserve it.
And I'm gonna look in the camera now because I just want to say, dude, Ben, like, you're amazing. And I'm like
I do all right.
No, you're amazing. You are amazing. You are one of my favorite people, and I am so glad that you let me into your orbit and with everything and being a part of the Old Man Walking Club and doing all this awesome stuff that we do streaming. I'm gonna say this, and I'm not bullshitting you, man. It's been life-saving for me. It really has. It really has.
No,
And
it's
just
kind of I
thank
do
you.
really believe in the fact that and I can be a big curmudgeon, and I can definitely be a but I would say that that's an instinct that I've always had to a degree, but James Wheeler is the person who brings that best of that out of me. And
James is amazing.
kind of that whole like, just like, let's do, so we're doing for others type of thing.
Mhm.
And now reluctantly do that, but one thing I have got from him, and I feel like always trying to get across that comes from him. It's not something natural. Like I kind of will say I'm joking about this sometimes, but I'm not. I can be a real curmudgeon.
Mhm.
Is don't just do that for the people in your orbit. Do it for everybody.
Yeah.
And I think for me, one reason I'm probably not as good as it as I'd like is my job takes a lot of that away, because I'm like, I'm tapped at some point. I'm just like, you know what, I've been nice all day,
Yeah.
or I've been patient all day, or I've been especially more like when my job was much more difficult situations, I would be like, okay, I've hit my threshold of being like okay with stuff. Like I had poop thrown at me today. I got spit on. I got hit. I got kicked.
Yeah.
Things were not. It was not a good day. We didn't have any success. It was all just like not even holding the status quo. It was some of it was going backwards.
Yeah.
And I would hit a point where I would just be like, I have nothing positive to give anybody.
Yeah.
My job isn't really like that anymore. I mean, it's same field, just a lot less of that.
Yeah.
But I also have a compassion meter that gets, when it's full up, it's full up. Like but I try to always make sure I've got room for my people. And James has really pushed me, and I'll be honest, in some ways taught me to reserve, put some in the bank for because there are people who need it.
Yeah.
They need you to be like, in their corner.
Oh yeah.
So,
oh yeah,
and
definitely.
They don't need like the half-ass version of you. They need like the version. They need that, the best of you. I've seen him do that. I've seen him like come through for folks in that way. And I found it to be both challenging and annoying, and as far as like no one out Pizza's the Hut, James.
Yeah.
my inner competitiveness sometimes comes out in the weirdest fucking ways.
Oh no, I can relate to that.
And James sometimes brings that out by just being like, well, I mean, I can do this, so why can't you do it, type of thing. He never says it. He just it's never performative. It's never like shittily done. It's always just like his example becomes like, I would feel like shit if I didn't live up to that example. I'd feel like shit if I did not do my part. And it's not a guilt thing. It's just like, I always want to make sure that all my friends feel like I'm worthy of their friendship. Like I've felt massively unworthy at times.
Oh
And it
yeah.
sucks. It's real hard, but I want to make sure that like I try to do right by humans. So, and I think that that's the thing kind of that we all want to embody. And you're doing it. So just
Thanks.
like,
You too.
again, give yourself some grace and give
Yeah.
yourself some kindness because you deserve it. And you're doing it and you're doing a great job of it.
Thank
And the stuff you're doing right now is not easy and you're killing it.
Thank you,
Like-
man. I really appreciate that. It's really it means the world to me to actually have like, because I've been in friend groups before where there's like support. What? Like, and so to have like complete honest and open heart like support flowing towards me, it's overwhelming at times, and I do like kind of like, when like James like messaged me back after I told you guys how I did my test today, and I don't know, like I felt like a little kid, like, oh, thank you, teacher. Like, for me. But
so one thing I think he and I bonded over, and it's kind of a it's become a cornerstone of our friendship, but also like our friendship with everybody. Because I like Doug's a good example of this for me. Was like Doug and Randy moved back to the Minnesota area from living in Canada for a while. And the person who introduced us, who'd known Doug since college, was like, well, Doug's a super introvert and he's this and he's that. And, he just needs friends type of thing.
Mhm.
And Doug and I had this conversation before, afterward, like later on in life, was like, and James and I, like I said, James and I both do this, and I'm very happy to do it. And we've kind of adopted that as like our, just who we are, is like, man, I'm a fucking adult. If I want to show another adult affection and let them know like my feelings for them as a person, how much I love them, how much I care about them, how proud I am of like what they're doing, I'm gonna fucking tell them. Like,
yeah. Oh yeah.
If you're my friend, and like I'm probably gonna hug you, and I'm probably gonna make it uncomfortable.
Yeah.
But it's because because if you don't know me, like if I'm at work or I'm around people I don't know, I'm not like that.
Yeah.
I'm very I would catch shit sometimes from James because I wouldn't do. We would go to work at wrestling shows, and I didn't always do the walk around, shake hands, thing, that etiquette thing. And I'd be like, I think that shit's stupid. I don't want to do it. Because I don't know these people.
Yeah.
I work with them. This is work.
Mm-hmm.
I go around in my regular job. And he's like, well, this is an etiquette thing here. And I'd be like, I don't fucking care. I don't know. And some of these people, I honestly, I don't like.
Yeah.
We work together, but then there were people we do like, and we got to know and everything. And then I would, I'd greet them the way I greet anybody I do like or I'm friends with, which I'm sure made some people realize real quick, oh, he fucking does not like me, But I think that's important to like normalize that shit.
Yeah.
I get very disturbed by and very like upset by for lack of a better term, my gender.
Mm-hmm.
How they can just be fucking terrible.
Oh yeah, it's like the
and-
only emotions we should be allowed to access are rage and hilarity at other people's misfortunes. I don't know. It's just like,
no, I don't disagree with you at all. So I refuse to be a part of that.
yeah, I hate it.
I want to be a part of
Manosphere can
something
fuck
that,
itself. Like for real. I'm sick of all that alpha male bullshit. It's such
preferably to
nonsense.
death.
Yeah.
I don't even, it's just dumb shit. It's dumb shit and it hurts people. And I'm just like, I got nothing to say. I got nothing positive to say about, so I don't say anything at all.
Yeah. I just like to say, like, to get on a soapbox for a second, like let's look at what groups are being like the worst in our society and probably generating the most like kind of ill feeling and hatred. Is it the drag queens who are asking people, hey, come on in and read a book? Everybody, We don't give a shit. Or is it the fucking Joe Rogan's like, we can't have these people running the government. They couldn't even run a Ben & Jerry's. These people, when we know who he's talking about. I'm sorry. But seriously, like, alpha male macho bullshit needs to die a violent death and soon. It's the worst. It serves nothing.
To me, it's a red flag when I'm friends with somebody or I'm trying to be friends with them and they're like, hey, did you listen to Joe Rogan? I immediately go, no, and like neither should you.
Yeah,
so,
I have
a really good someone who I met through a job like 3 jobs ago who I'm still friends with. And he is very smart and he is a very nice guy.
Mm-hmm.
And he's just a cool guy. He's a fucking great parent. I had to at one point say, for a guy who's really smart and with it, you enjoy the stupidest shit.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Like I've told them, I was like, I enjoy childish things, and I always have, and I always will.
Yeah.
But I don't enjoy idiocy for the sake of idiocy. And he was like, what do you mean? I explained it to him, and he goes, I never really thought about that way. I think he's like, I just always looked at it as like, this is, he was a collegiate athlete, and he was like, I always just kind of looked like this was just like locker room bullshit talk.
It's bully stuff. Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, but do you see how like he says this dumb shit, and now you are associated with that dumb shit?
Mm-hmm.
And he was like, I don't disagree. So he was like, yeah, I'm kind of, and like we went back and forth about it for a while, I think like a week or so. I didn't say anything more about it. I was just like, it's fucking stupid, dude.
Mm-hmm.
And then eventually he was like, yeah, I can't even remember what it was. Joe Rogan said some Joe Rogan real hard. And my friend was like, yeah, he's an idiot. I don't know why I wasn't like noticing how stupid he was previously. I don't know if I just got caught up in like the jocularity of it.
Yes, exactly.
But
I think a lot of people get lured in with that, and then all of a sudden you talk to them like a few months later and they're like, so I'm taking my colloidal silver tabs and I'm feeling really good. Yeah. It's just like
yeah, I think it's just how shit is sometimes, and I'm not going to agree with everybody, and I don't have to. Mm-mm. But I will often say I only have time for some of it. I mean, I am diabolically aware of the clock ticking.
Yeah. Oh. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, man.
Males in my family don't have the longest, life expectancy.
Yeah.
And that is what it is. Like I said, I'm not upset about it or anything. It is what it is. I'm very, very, very aware of it. But I don't have time to fucking waste on Joe Rogan bullshit and nonsense.
Yeah.
I got other nonsense I want to be involved in.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, no, it's just like, yeah, man, I would rather talk about anything other than like the struggles of being a man. Like, okay, sure. But yeah, it's so hard. It's so hard having everyone cater to you and be differential to you for the majority of your life. Oh, it's, yeah, man. It's, I don't know. Like,
it's just important to try to check your bullshit. I mean, at all times, because we all have it, and we all have a lot of it.
Mm-hmm.
And I think we forget sometimes. I mean, whether it be our socioeconomic state, whether it be who we are ethnically, whether it be fucking even the country we live in. Just need to check it. Just need to be like, shit, I'm thinking this way, or maybe I'm feeling this way, not because it's a rational or a real feeling. It's because I have the luxury of feeling that, and I'm not actually looking at it from a humanist perspective. I'm kind of being a prick about it.
Yeah. Like, man, I doubt there's many people in like kind of developing countries and stuff like that who are really struggling, who are like, oh, these liberals and all and women, and it's just like, like
Yeah,
I don't know.
when I like, and I will not. We're going to stay out of the politics real quick. I promise. Like when I see like what's going on in Gaza and I'm seeing people die of starvation, it's just like it fucking kills me. It like it makes me feel like physical pain because I'm
Yeah.
like this I'm an adult and like I can remember like Reagan like living in a super red state. I can remember like the Reagan worship that went on and thinking like, well, this is dumb, but also like now being older, realizing what propaganda is,
Mm-hmm.
and
Oh yeah.
seeing it on full historical display right now it's and just knowing that like people are they're dying needlessly. People who are not involved in any of this shit, they're
Yeah.
just dying,
Mm-hmm.
and
Yeah.
it makes me disgusted that we're perpetrating this.
Yeah. It's
Absolute maniacal loss of life.
yeah. I pay taxes. I'm complicit in this shit. By no want of my own, and it sucks. It sucks. Especially just like I don't know. Yeah, I don't want to get into the stickiness of that whole, but like it's a goddamn shame that there's people that have nothing to do with it, and just because they live where they live, they are being targeted by a very oppressive regime who is trying to wipe them off the fucking globe, and it's sick. It's sickening. The justifications they're jumping towards to do it
I
too.
think, you know, like, and again, we're not gonna go deeper. I
Yeah,
swear,
I don't want to go.
Swear to God, is like watching TV today and watching a clip of Orange Shitstain's son-in-law talk about like his basically saying, well, we just need to, you know, wipe these people out and then we can make condos out of their homes type of thing.
Yeah.
And that's just all it is. And I'm like, does no one else see like how fucked up that is? Like, come on, man. Like no one looking at that, you know, especially from you moral majority folks going like, yeah, that's no, let's not do that.
Yeah.
Instead it's just like, yeah, on with the murder.
Well, I don't know, man. Once they,
and I'm like, this is who we are, I guess. This is what
Yeah.
we are.
when they fucking blew that hospital up and you had people cheering that, like, I was just like, oh, all right, this is insane. All right, we're just completely abandoning any morality here, just to, I don't know what, celebrate explosions. I don't know. It's weird, man.
Well, I mean, like I said, I find it disturbing, and I have been reminded by a few of my friends who are of the Jewish faith, that, you know, I'm not, and I probably should be very conscious.
I have
of
it in my grandma's bloodline, but like I don't subscribe to, like, it's not a big enough part of my identity, say like my Irishness or my Polishness, that I really have ever explored it at all. But like, so it's just like,
and I haven't had anybody like come at me or anything, but I've got some friends, you know, who are of the people, you know, who are of the faith.
yeah,
I've worked for a, you know, faith-based Jewish organization and did so for a number of years.
mm-hmm.
It doesn't mean that I don't, and it doesn't mean that like I'm like, oh, you know, talking shit on Jewish people. I don't like Zionism. I do not like Zionism. I don't like colonialism. I don't like colonialism either.
Yeah.
So, and I really, I know it's shocking to say in this day and age,
Yeah.
I hate the wanton murder of civilians.
That's the thing. Yeah. And also, like, anyone, I'm just going to put this out there. Like, Israel, the government of Israel is not a representative of the Jewish faith at all. It's a group of politicians, and that's all you need to view it as. And when they attribute other things to them to try to justify things, that's all you need to just look at. That is what they're doing. It's really
So anyway, we're
despicable.
off that. I think that's, but I would say a lot of like my recent struggle with like mood and stuff has, some of it has been directly attributed to like trying to stay cognizant of the situation in the world, and be like aware of things that are going on,
Yeah.
but also just trying to not
Contribute to the
overwhelm, and not overwhelm myself where I'm just like,
That's another thing too. Yeah.
even more like in like a depressive fugue because of it.
Yeah.
Because I mean, like I've said before, I can easily fall down that hole as well.
Oh yeah, it's easy to feast on like the absurdity and just the amorality of it all, and be like, are you, and let it stoke a fire inside your own belly. But that always doesn't lead you to the best places. Oftentimes it just leaves you with
it certainly does not.
Really hot, uncomfortable feeling in your stomach that you got to find a way to get rid of on your own. But yeah, man, like there's so with all, I don't know. I can't say if the world's more on fire than it's ever been. I know people like to say that, but it also feels like it happens all the time and it's just always a chaotic place. I think the best
I've had somebody recently tell me that. They were like, I know you feel like the world's in the worst spot it's been in, but it's been in worse spots. It will be in worse spots. So,
like,
I was like, fuck you. But then you're right. I mean, it's also like, you're probably a little bit right there. I don't like to say that, but
it's just think of it. This is the worst way to think of it, but there's always the room for something else to go wrong. But
and it probably inevitably will. I mean, but
who knows? Who knows? I mean, but then it could also ebb back. Because like think about it. Like our parents' generation, they were hiding under school desks to avoid the effects of an atomic bomb. That was their reality. We don't do that anymore. Now we do the school shooter drills. So who knows? Maybe those will go away. Hopefully, probably not. But hopefully
not if the NRA has anything to say about it.
Yeah, not before you pry this gun from my corpse's cold, dead hands. Yeah. Whoa, Maeve.
Anyway,
sorry that we got off on a weird tangent, everybody.
I mean, I think it's it's.
But you know what? It's good to release that. Got to get it out.
Right, I appreciate it, Super Spike.
Ooh, drinking soda.
My mom had a little bit of cherry with a green
one.
So what are you trying to accomplish this week? What's an attainable goal you're setting for yourself?
Oh yeah, it is a fluffy dog. You're not wrong. Big old Malamute, Alaskan Malamute.
Okay, I don't know anything about your dog. Is it your dog? Is your dog a chatterer?
Oh yeah, if you get her going, she'll start going. She likes to talk back like rah, 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 rah,
I love that.
Rah, rah, rah. You gonna talk? Are you gonna talk?
I love chatty dogs.
And she is 10 going on 2. You would not realize she's a 10-year-old dog, like just the energy she's got. But yeah, love her. She's great. She's a sassy old dame, very set in her ways, and she's kind of the princess of the house, like the true princess. Like everyone fawns on her.
So what is a goal you're setting for yourself? An attainable goal?
I think I want to be able to crush 2 more sections of my studies this week because I'm already ahead of the curve on it, and I got so much.
For a second, I literally thought you were going to say, "I'd like to be able to crush my enemies see them driven before
See
me and hear the
them
lamentation of the
before me.
women.
That would be my
I
step.
honestly did. I was like, is he gonna drop the Conan litany on me?
I should have.
Crush your enemies, see them driven before you, hear the
Hear the
lamentations
lamentations
of
of
the
the women.
women.
Conan, what is best in life? I love that. But yeah, I think that's my major goal, is to kind of crush some more of my schoolwork. I think that's a pretty good one to attain. And I think it's a reasonable goal to set. And I feel I'm going to accomplish it, and that makes me feel good, because I'm accomplishing more and more lately that I had a lot of doubt about. So I want to challenge myself a little more and take on a little more, not too much, just a little more, and keep all this good momentum going, because I really want to do it, not just for myself, but for everyone who's putting all their faith into me and all their kindness and love and support behind me. And I really want to do everyone proud, and myself.
Yeah, do yourself proud.
I'm feeling very proud. And yes, I'll say 95% of it is me doing the work, and the other 5% is just an explosion of support from everyone who's just been amazing. And I needed that. I needed that extra percentage from you guys. So thank you so much.
You got this, man. We're
Ben,
here for you.
What about you,
So
bud?
I accomplished my goal from last week. I've got back in the swing of
You went out on your own.
stuff. Oh yeah, I've either been using the arm ergometer. I've gone for a walk. I was going to go for a walk today, but I was like, it's a little chilly for me to go for that walk. So instead, I used the seated cycle, and
Nice.
I was like, I'm going to do I need to do 300 calories minimum.
Yeah.
And I did 300 calories minimum, because that's a group of muscles I hadn't done a lot with of late, and they were very unhappy to see me. I got up, I got up, I was like, oh yeah, that wasn't bad. And I started to walk. I was like, oh, I can't feel my legs. And then I started going up the stairs to go upstairs, and I was like, "Oh, I can feel my legs now." And they are
and they're hurting.
Very unhappy with me.
Yeah, oh god, yeah. Like,
it takes me a little bit to figure out the range of where my feet have to be on that adjustable.
Yeah.
It's just it's the same thing as my ergometer for my arms. It's just to use it for your legs.
Mm-hmm.
To figure out exactly the distance I need it and everything, because
Mm-hmm.
I'm kind of a big guy.
You're very tall.
I'm tall, I'm long, and I've got big legs. I mean,
You're here to get some friction on.
Yeah, I mean, my wife loves my big legs, and I'm saying that honestly. But when people are asked about well, it can't be that big. I couldn't wear leg pads and hip pads in high school or college.
Jesus.
I got thick legs. I've always had thick legs, and I don't even work them out anymore. They're just still big.
Your calves would make everyone in a gym cry. They'd be like, "Why can't I?"
They used to be bigger. That's the thing.
Oh god, yeah, no, man. Like
I used to be leaner, but way bigger.
Yeah.
I used to have no neck. But anyway, we're not talking about that. I'm gonna keep trying to stay on that. I'm trying to figure out which day I should just not have any workout to give my body a little bit of a recovery.
Yeah, you got to get that rest in. Yeah.
Because it's some of it's the fact that I haven't worked out consistently for so long that I need to give my body some time to kind of go, okay, yeah, this is what we're doing. And at the same time, I mean, I'm older, and my just bluntly, honestly, my body can't handle it. It's too broke down. Like, all my joints and everything are just too busted.
Yeah.
So I got to figure that out. I can't tell if it's going to be Fridays or what. It's the same thing. I finally gave myself a cheat day for calories.
Yeah. You gotta.
Yeah, I agree. I think you have to be long-term successful.
That yes, no, you're completely right there because it's moderation is going to be the key there. If you cut yourself off from things you love completely, then that just increases, in my opinion, and some other studies and stuff I've been reading lately, that the fall off is going to be the expectancy of that happening is just going to be greater because that will be such a greater temptation down the road and stuff like that. So yeah, and we're human. We got to treat ourselves. We got to.
And I am definitely a boy, I'm unhappy. So this food is going to fill that hole inside me, and it does. And that hole's called my stomach. So yeah,
that's how I got to 320 plus, man. Like my emotions in food were that. And
they're best friends. Yeah,
they were and best enemies. Like it was bad. But
yeah, so my goal is to stay on track with that. I've been under 2,000 calories all week again.
That's really good.
I probably when you subtract the calories for working out, there's been a couple times where I should have just been like, you know what, I'm full. I don't need to eat anymore. But I'm like, well, I got a little calorie room.
There's that, and then all the food these days is so like hyper palatable for what they sometimes like, all the little extra flavorings and additives that they can put in stuff that really makes it like kick up in flavor, even with health food. So like you can hit those goals and still be like, oh, but the taste, give me more of that taste.
And sometimes it's not even the taste. Sometimes it's just like I will just eat to, I don't know, it's hard to explain. Sometimes I'm just like I will eat until I'm over full because I'll just be like, I just want to eat.
Yeah.
I try not to do that. And I'm, like I said, I'm working on it. And you know, I definitely understand it's not something I can do overnight. I was on a really good streak for a couple years and I kind of got off track.
Yeah.
So I'm getting back on that track. But also one of my medications that helps with that, I can't get right now. And I haven't been able to get for over a month because it's sold out, which is super fun.
That's
that a medication that's prescribed supposedly for diabetes is being used as a weight loss drug. So those of us who have diabetes can't get it. You can probably guess by my grin how I feel about that.
Yeah.
But that has thrown me off because that med, it's when you get on it, it's hard to get on because it makes you feel real fucking sick for a while.
I hate that.
When you get off of it, it does the exact same thing.
Med sick is the worst. It's the worst. Oh God.
It's gut sick too. It's just like you're hungry, but then you eat and your stomach's just pissed off about it. And it's just like, anyway. So yeah, I'm sticking with that.
Good.
I'm trying to hopefully see some results with some weight loss from it.
Yeah, man.
But we'll see.
Time and patience.
Yeah, some of it's like we ran into this last time when I was on it even. I have a tendency to plateau. I hit a spot and I'm stuck there for periods of time. And that's what that med is supposed to help with, is like to get over those, to continue to kickstart your metabolism.
Yeah.
And the one thing I would say in everyone else's favor who's on it is it fucking works. It worked really well for me. So I don't feel like should be someone who's like, go fuck other people, they shouldn't have this. But at the same time, it's I definitely noticed a difference since I'm not on it.
Yeah.
But yeah, what do you do? Well, it is what it is.
Yeah. Hopefully it comes back in soon, and otherwise just keep plugging away, man, because it's the work is the work is the work.
Yep.
Is the work.
You're exactly right. It's just you just got to keep doing your thing.
It's really annoying that that's it is, but it's just progression.
Well, I mean, there's also, I mean, I'll be bluntly honest about it. There's also a chance because of where my A1C numbers have gotten to
Mhm.
that they might just look at taking me off that med anyway. So
Okay.
I mean, so I can't really bitch too much.
Yeah.
So I mean I can. I mean, you're listening to me bitch. That's what this show basically is me complaining.
But in a space for it, so
Colin, where can people find you?
This Sunday I'm gonna be doing prep school. I believe we're helping out Michael. I don't know why I said his name like that, but we're helping out Michael work on his game. So I'm excited about that. I'm gonna bust out all the resources for it. I don't know. This coming Thursday, we're gonna be not this Thursday, but the next Thursday, I mean. Is going to be GXG on John Carpenter's They Spoop, which is what I'm going to call the show. That means we're doing Godzilla, Cross Godzilla. I'm bringing my 5 Godzillas. King's bringing his Godzillas. We're going to have a Godzilla Smash-a-thon. No kitties will be spared.
Wow. What'd you think of the analog video, Godzilla video I sent you?
Oh, that was wonderful.
So there is a whole subgenre of analog horror that is just Godzilla horror. There's also a whole Jurassic Park subgenre of analog horror.
Ooh, that would really work. But also the Godzilla, that'd be fun too. Okay,
yeah. So
YouTube it.
Yeah,
like Godzilla analog.
Yeah, there's a tiny. It's not the biggest subgenre, but there's a definitive subgenre of analog horror that is Jurassic Park based as well as one that's Godzilla based, which I find to be infinitely fascinating. It's kind of the idea of like, oh shit, dinosaurs and/or kaiju, but roaming around populated areas at night. And someone catching a glimpse of them. Like that Godzilla thing was great.
That was
because it was so fucked up. And then we were watching, it's only 2 minutes long. And Cassandra was saying something about like, I don't remember. She said something. I was like, you know what? I bet that guy's also got cancer. And she's like, why would you say that? And I was like, because Godzilla is a giant irradiated lizard. So, and he was just like in his wake. And if they handle it the way that I think they're going to handle it, he's got cancer, and they did. And I was like, that makes Godzilla even more terrifying.
Oh yeah,
is the fact that he's literally a walking cancer.
Yeah. Well, think of it. He's basically a living nuclear reactor.
Yeah,
a living, breathing nuclear. It's a crazy monster.
When you put it in the analog horror kind of genre, I think they take that far more seriously than like a kaiju movie does, and that makes it terrifying. I mean, it really puts some horror back into Godzilla. This idea that not only is this thing walking around going to just destroy, but if we're looking at it less from like the more Showa era Godzilla as ecological protector and more of Godzilla as walking fucking disaster.
Yeah.
You start to realize, oh shit, yeah, he's literally a walking cancer factory.
Yeah. Like, just think about like Godzilla versus Destroya when he's burning Godzilla and like literally melting down. Just think if they go like just everyone around him for miles is going to get sick and probably die because like there's no
it takes a thought that's already, in my opinion, scary and makes it terrifying.
Yeah
because it's like anyway. I think we've probably given both of ourselves far more than enough shit to crap ourselves over. Sorry, people who watched.
Oh, and how about that Aliens Romulus trailer?
Okay, I will say this. I think we've talked about this before. I'm not the biggest Aliens guy in the world because I think Ridley Scott is a piece of shit.
He gave us Blade Runner. I love Blade Runner, and I love Legend.
I love Blade Runner and Legend as well, but I still think he's just a giant tool.
Yeah, no, he seems like a major douche, especially when like Neil Blomkamp was like, "I've got this fucking amazing idea, everyone's on board, let's do it," and then Ridley's like, "I think I'm gonna make Alien Covenant the worst film in the series." It's like,
well, and that's the thing I think that pisses me off the most is it's like he is a master of like, oh, someone's going to do something with this thing that I had a hand in, but now I like to tell everybody that's completely mine. I did this. He's the Don Spupino of that.
yeah, no, everyone forgets like you got
Dan
H.R.
O'Bannon.
Giger in the mix, Dan O'Bannon. Oh, salty old Dan O'Bannon, who was like, "Aliens mine," and Ridley's like, "I don't think so, mate." I don't know if he's Australian now, but he might be. But yeah, dude.
He's just a douche, is what he is.
Yeah, he's. I don't know. He good eye for the craft, but a pompous.
I wouldn't even go that far.
Really?
I think when surrounded by the right people, Ridley Scott makes great movies. When not surrounded by the great people, we get Prometheus, or we get.
I liked Prometheus. I'm sorry. If they
No,
had followed the original plan for Prometheus, that would have been amazing.
Everyone's allowed to like what they like. I'm just saying that if you're comparing that to like the OG Alien, it's
no, there's problems there. There is.
I also think that Ridley.
I think Ridley also forgot what world he was in when he made Prometheus.
I think he still was trying to get over James Cameron making a better Alien movie than him.
Yeah,
and I think he'll go back to Blade Runner at some point because I think Villanueva made a better Blade Runner movie.
Oh, for sure. Even though Denis will say like, "Oh, I didn't do as good as I could have." It's like
that's because he is an actual artist and he's a perfectionist.
Yeah,
and I admire that about that man.
Yeah.
Anyway, I will be here Sunday, and then Monday is the Shadow War of Storm Song. So it should be interesting since it's a lot of like me flipping over cards and them making decisions that are the history of this war that their tiny youths got themselves into. That honestly has been in the background for probably 30 episodes minimum. It's been going on. So
really?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That was something that went on.
With all these little shenanigans that have been taking place, there's been this war raging. I don't think I've realized that.
They're not there. They're not on the plane where it's happening.
Oh,
so,
okay.
So the whole thing was that's Shannon's character's home plane.
Mm-hmm.
And she, a Rakshasa who was working with a bunch of other shitty people, was like, "Hey, I see great potential shittiness in you. Like, I really think we could do some shitty stuff together."
Mm-hmm.
And she not only basically told him to fuck off, but I can't remember, like, she did something else. And he told her, he's like, "I'm going to find where you come from and I'm going to ruin it. I'm not going to like burn it to the ground or destroy it. I'm going to make it like the antithesis of your memory. I'm going to ruin everybody you're friends with. I'm just going to ruin it." And that's what he's done.
That's bad.
And when they kill him, because I'm guessing they'll want to kill him at the end of it, he's a Rakshasa. He just goes back to hell.
Yeah.
They have to, if they want to kill him, they need to go to hell to do it.
Yeah. Ooh.
And their adoptive father is also a Rakshasa who's currently recovering from wounds in hell and has since like the first arc. So might be time to go visit Uncle Tani in hell. brings all new meaning to the phrase "I'll see you in hell." All right, man. Like I said, I'm proud of you. Keep up the good work.
Proud of you too, man.
I'm gonna try to stay on track this week.
Yeah, if you feel free to hit me up if you need like a partner to do anything. I'll be around. If you need a buddy.
Otherwise, spend some time with your family. All of you guys out there, pick something, try to do it, make it attainable. And remember, we got you. We're here for you.
Yeah.
Have a good one. Amen.
Bye.